Hey guys, Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina, and it's time for our live stream show. We got a special guest in studio tonight. We've got Tom Verdanski with President Tom Verdanski of Old Salts Fishing Club, and excited tonight to bring you guys a special show and talk a little bit about all the charitable things that Old Salts Fishing Foundation, is it what? Fishing Foundation, right?
Yeah.
Proper name? Yeah.
Right.
Has in store for all things Madeira Beach and all things fishing. So lots of great ways to get connected and learn more about fishing, plus do more for the community tonight as well. So great show lined up for you tonight. Remember, if you want a chance to win free stuff, every Sunday night we give away over $1,500 in free stuff during the show. All you have to do to get a chance to win is comment one time in the stream there on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook page. You can watch on YouTube, you can watch on TikTok, Instagram, Trovo, Twitch. You can watch on any of those Facebook pages we're streaming to, but you have to comment once on the Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream in order to be eligible to win. Also want to make sure we give a shout out to our friends over there at Gator Jim's Tackle, 3301 Pinellas Point Drive South in St. Pete. Stop by our friends over at Gator Jim's and tell them thanks for helping out the live stream show. Remember, if you bring a kid with you and mention Hubbard's Marina, they give a free gift to the young angler with you. So make sure you stop by and tell our friends over at Gator Jim's we said hello. Also, want to make sure we give a shout out to all our supporters in our supporters club. Remember, the private supporters after show starts a few minutes after the main show. We'll announce that time later in the show. Plus, of course, we want to give a shout out to all those of you who are sending stars, all the stars senders helping to fuel the show on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, Trovo, Twitch, you don't know what the stars are, it's just a way for those watching on Facebook to show their support and help fuel the show. We had Christina McDougall so far. We had, let's see here, Richard Blasak, Keith White, Sam Lang with a big 490, Larry White with 500, Adam Franklin with 500, John Bull, appreciate you, man, Richard Harcourt, Craig Robinson, and Jasmine Marie, appreciate y'all for the stars. Now, we are going to talk a little bit quickly about what we're catching now, what we're seeing on the water. We're going to talk a little bit briefly about the weather, and then we're going to get into talking to our good friend Tom here and President Verdanski. How do you want to be referred to?
Just Tommy's fine. I mean, really, as long as I've known your family now, I mean, Tommy's just fine. Yeah,
all right. We'll go with Tommy. But definitely a lot of cool stuff to talk about tonight. Remember, if you have a question that you want answered live during the show, make sure you drop it into a text. The phone number is at the bottom of the screen there. Text us any questions you want answered live during the show. And then if you're picked as one of those lucky winners during the live stream show, you do have to text us in your full home address, which is right to that phone number on the screen. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. And Richard Blasak, appreciate those 5,000 stars, my friend. James McCullum, appreciate you as well with a big 500. Jeff Reedy with 1,200, appreciate you, man. Robert Bush as well. Definitely Richard Blasak is in a commanding lead. Appreciate you, my friend. All right, so with that, let's get into what we're catching, what we're seeing. Josh is going to drop some information about Old Salts in the chat there. If you want to make sure you check out their Facebook page, make sure you give them a follow as well. If you don't know about Old Salts, you're going to learn tonight. It is the biggest and oldest fishing club in the region, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's Palm Beach, I think, is larger, but, I mean, older. Yeah. But it's not as large as we are. I mean,
yeah, Palm Beach Fishing Club is in southeast Florida, for those of you who's not great with geography of Florida. I recently learned about the Palm Beach Fishing Club about 3 years ago in MREP. They've been around a while, but that's not really, I wouldn't
consider. A little more
consider.
like a yacht club.
Yes.
Yeah, no, a little different than what we are.
Yeah, and Old Salts Fishing Club started with the Loop Tournament, like 60 years ago, right?
53 now. Yeah, 53 years. Old Salt actually is an acronym.
What?
Yeah.
Old Salts is an acronym?
Yeah, it stands for Operation Loop Development, Suncoast Anglers Loop Tournament.
Well, Operation Loop Development, Suncoast, what?
Suncoast Anglers Loop Tournament.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think the only person that would actually be able to tell you that, other than a few board members, would be my daughter. That's one of our number one questions we ask to win stuff.
Huh.
You know, it's we started with it wasn't even Noah yet. It was not actually Fisher, it was Noah, but with a bunch of guys wanted to go out, your grandfather included, to go survey the loop current.
Huh.
And after the second year that the federal government paid for everybody to do it, obviously you get a bunch of fishermen together. What do they want to do? Going to have a brown bag fishing tournament now, So therefore, the loop was born, and Old Salts was born, and it's gone from there after 53 years. But the loop did start the actual club itself.
Wow,
very near and dear to us still to this day.
I had no idea about that. So the club really started with a bunch of fishermen getting together and wanting to survey the loop current in the Gulf of Mexico?
Yes, they knew the loop current. They knew at that time that the loop moved, obviously, but they didn't know actually what kind of species were in it. They didn't know how far the current went. They did water sampling as much as they could.
What?
Our guys to this day still
do the water sampling?
Water sampling, yeah. When the Mississippi flooded last time, they came to us because our guys have, refrigeration and freezers on the boats and things like that. They asked us to do water sampling at different depths and then freeze it. They actually found just due west, like 200 miles due west of Sarasota, they found a specific fertilizer that's all the way up from St. Louis area and beyond.
Wow.
That came out of the Delta and travels in the loop.
So 200 miles west of Sarasota, they found a specific fertilizer tag to some area in St. Louis?
Yeah, for horseradish in particular.
Wow.
So it's, so we still do scientific research. We still bring out, FWC comes out quite a bit, and they do otolith studies on the kingfish. They do, we do obviously reporting when the loop's there. We got to, report everything that they catch, and through
all the HMS stuff, all the highly migratory species. Yeah. And so 53 years, so it's 2023, so you're talking 1970s-ish. That was like when National Marine Fisheries Service and NOAA Fisheries was essentially just starting out. I mean, NOAA Fisheries and the Magnuson-Stevens Act and everything like that was, 1970, I think 76 was the original implementation
and actually,
of MSA?
Yeah, and what's crazy about it, we had club members help draft Magnuson-Stevenson, which I don't believe those gentlemen at that time knew what that actually was going to become. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people knew what it was going to become.
I believe it's becoming slightly barbaric, in my personal opinion. But we do what we can. Like we were the first all-release billfish tournament too in the Gulf of Mexico, which we took a hit for. Panhandle, they still kill fish, they still hang them. You got the white marlin open out there, they still do the same thing, and it's nothing against it. I mean. But we chose to be all release. The only thing that you can weigh in the loop tournament now to this day is swordfish. You only weigh one, and then tuna, dolphin, wahoo, all your fun fish species.
So tuna, dolphin, wahoo, you can hang those, but you can't hang any billfish in the loop.
Not unless it's a state or world record, because we're IGFA sanctioned. So therefore, we are qualified. If you bring it in and you think it's a world record, and if it's close, then we'll do it, but we don't promote the killing of any billfish at all if not necessary, obviously.
Yeah, that's always a big thing. Real quick, no one click any of the links being put in the chat. The select a winner thing is a spam bot. We are blessed to have a lot of viewers watching. We have over 300 people watching live on our Hubbard's Marina Facebook stream. So because of that, we get targeted pretty heavily with spam. So if you ever see something kind of weird looking in the chat, often it's spam, and Josh does his best to try to ban those people and delete those comments. But remember, every week since 2016 when we started this show, the only way we give away free stuff during our live stream shows is when we're talking and we do an announcement. You see your name pop up on the screen and we ask you to text us. We never send you some kind of weird spammy message or put a comment in there saying, click this link, give us your credit card number. People, almost every time the spam happens, fall for that. And it frustrates me.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. It's frustrating for all of us.
We got hacked really hard, too, at Old Salts one time, and it was very, very difficult to get everything back in. My wife was linked as a sexual predator.
Oh,
so they really shut down hard. Yeah, they shut it down pretty hard.
Yeah.
But obviously, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
But it's, but they hacked everything.
Yeah. Luckily, we take our internet security very seriously around here. It drives Josh crazy because they have to call me and text me, and it darn near requires my blood type to log into our Facebook page. Because we put so much time, energy, and money into it, we protect it so heavily. But It doesn't stop someone from making a fake page using our logo, and they trick people all the time by messaging them. So know that we're not going to message you. We're not going to ask you to click a link. We're not going to ask for your credit card number to give you something free.
Yeah, right.
So just know that. If we announce a winner, you'll see it on the screen. We'll ask you to text us. So stay tuned for more of that. But really, really, really cool that the loop current developed in that way. It is very interesting that Old Salt's history is all developed around the loop current like that in the loop tournament. Man, that is really interesting. And the acronym, I had no idea. Yeah. I thought it was just a cool name to a cool fishing club.
That's, I think, I mean, obviously I'm sure there's something behind it, though. But I said the guys in the beginning, Bobby Spaeth, the Sturgises, and, I mean, people that your family grew up with as well. And, it's just incredible to see. I mean, real, true local legends, if you will, you know, that went out and, they drug a fuel barge out there at that time. They dragged boats. I mean,
what?
Oh yeah,
dragged a fuel barge to do the loop tournament back then.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
That's not allowed anymore.
You can't drag a fuel barge offshore.
My guys wish it was, but boats also now have way more capabilities than they did then.
Yeah,
obviously, but it's a very cool. And if you go to Old Salts, fishing.org, the actual story is there from the original loop. There's some newspaper articles that they followed from the St. Pete Times way back in the day. It's interesting. I mean, it really is. I mean, we also start the artificial reef program here.
Yeah.
Old Salts and Sofa started with the seafood festival.
Yep.
I mean, we would hang a fish for 3 days and then end up on one of the mayor's lawns. I wasn't around back then for that, but
I do remember the stories during Seafood Fest. They'd hang the fish up, and then after like 3 days, they'd toss it. And some city manager,
city official,
whether it's the mayor or a city council member, it always seemed to end up in someone's lawn.
It did, and that was part of it. And it was like the low man on the totem pole got that job, So, there's documentation of it out there, so it's, it definitely happened, but it's, that was like the old school days, what I mean?
I remember the old Seafood Fest growing up where we had the above ground pool, and my grandfather had the cane poles, and we'd put grouper and snapper and all those crazy offshore species that you could never in a million years bring in alive anymore. But we used to bring them in alive and put them in that above ground pool and fill it with salt water, and kids would be able to fish in it all weekend. We had a Goliath grouper in it at one point when I was a kid.
I mean,
in the good old days.
Yeah, I mean, when you're allowed to do stuff like that, then it just ended up being crab races.
Yes, hermit crab races at Don's Dock with the Beggs family. Yeah, I remember that too.
But it's times have changed with it, and we're changing. I mean, everybody here has to deal with it on a daily basis. I mean, that's in this industry where, and that's what the cool part about Old Salts is. I mean, we're inshore guys, we're offshore guys, we're rec guys, we're commercial guys, we're for hire guys, we're,
And Old Salts has everything from inshore tournaments to the loop tournaments to bottom fishing tournaments to obviously everybody knows Old Salts and King of the Beach. And it's cool, interesting. It's always one of my favorite seminars that I do is when I come and speak at Old Salts, just the wide variety of individuals that are associated with and a part of the club. And like you said, the Madeira Beach legends, the Dan Caseys, the Bobby Spaeth, all the big names that have come up through the industry and really pioneered the industry, including yourself, helping to proliferate the industry. It's really awe-inspiring, all the people that are associated with and have helped develop.
It is. It's just incredible. And it's all about community. I mean, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I realized the other day, you start thinking about it. We've got friends all over the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, through fishing. We can probably go just about anywhere and get hooked up with something. You know, or find people we know, or you know, and it's amazing. You know, I mean, and that's, I think, a huge part of what this industry is.
Yeah.
You know, to make that community, to have that bond, to have that, you know, like I said, nobody, I think, unless your father's done it, nobody woke up in the morning and was like, as a kid, I'm going to be a commercial fisherman when I grow up. You know, but there's guys that inspire to do that now still, you know, I mean, and we need it. You know, I mean, there's other place for it. And, you know, the biggest thing that I try to advocate for is that, you know, everybody talks about the political stuff and the sector separations and this, that, and the other. You know, united we stand.
Yeah.
You know, divided we fall. Like I said, we're all fishermen in the beginning. That's where it starts out at.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's worldwide, I think, really. I mean, that's just a thing.
Well, it's the evolution of an angler, right? You start out and you just want to learn how to bait a hook. And you want to learn how to tie a knot. And then all of a sudden you want to catch a fish. And then you want to catch a lot of fish. And then you want to kill a lot of fish. And then you get to a point where you want to teach someone how to fish. And then you want to watch someone fish. And then you want to help conserve the fishery.
And it is. And we definitely have to conserve our resources. And, you know, technology. You know, you talk about the guys that survey the loop. I mean, paper machines at best.
Yeah, Lorraine.
You know, they've got, I mean, bars of soap with lead in it. They're dropping down to the bottom and comes up with sand. Now we're not fishing there.
I mean, think about in the 1970s were they surveying the loop? Because, I mean, nowadays we pull it up on a Roths chart before we leave the dock.
Yeah, there it is. You know?
Or you pull it up on your plotter and use satellite while you're offshore to know where you're.
You overlay it. You're doing this. You're doing that. You know.
I got it on my Garmin machine. You know, it's easy.
You overlay. You see the eddies shooting off it.
You can see where everybody else is fishing. You can drop your live scope down.
I mean, it's technology's definitely made people that were decent fishermen. They made them great fishermen. Guys that weren't technically, they were fishermen, but they were, I don't want to say weekend warriors necessarily, but they were have made them now fishermen.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
you don't have to drop an anchor. You don't have to drop an anchor anymore if you don't want.
Yeah. Well, weekend warriors to me isn't a derogatory term, right? Because there's some people like lawyers, for example, or doctors or other professions that make some good money and they work hard all week to go fishing all weekend.
I'm not saying it's right. I mean, that's a huge part of the old salts or the weekend warriors. You know, and you know, every single meeting that we have, that's I learned something.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're speaking, if you know, or you know. Mike speaking, Ryan Harrington is up next.
Yeah.
You know, this month. And it's, you know, everybody does something a little bit different. And if you can apply that and actually listen, because, you know, and a lot of men are stubborn. You know, I mean, we're just set in our ways. This is how we're going to do it. And then, and if you watch that, more women catch fish on boats.
Oh, yeah.
Than men do because they have more patience.
And
they listen.
Yeah, no, it's always comical. That's like a charter captain joke, right? If you've got a family of 6 or 10 or 12 people on your boat, the wife, the daughters, they always are going to be the ones who catch a lot of fish or the biggest fish because they're the ones listening. They're the ones willing to ask for help. They're the ones willing to ask the questions. And they're the ones who are going to pick up on the tips and tricks.
Yeah, always. I mean, funny. It's just, and that's my biggest part. Now, I love, you know, taking people out and just watching. Like, you can drop on. I'm having enough fun watching you guys do what you're doing. You know? And eventually I will drop the line down. But it's just, it's cool. I watched Anthony come in at the Marina today, and same thing. 2 ladies on the boat, they smoked everybody.
That's how it is.
I can't wait to hear back from Amy. She's out right now.
Yeah, your wife, Amy.
With a gentleman off your dock, actually, there. And, you know, so they were going scouting pretty deep. But she'll call big fish, and normally she gets it. You know, it becomes irritating slightly. My daughter's starting to get into that now too, but it's I guess it's a family trait.
Yeah, some competition.
Yeah, there's definitely some competition there. There's no doubt.
That's awesome.
Especially when both of them run the boat.
Then you've got no shot.
No, I just stay out of it. I just drive the boat and just keep looking. You know, we ran at the old Salts ran at the Hubbard boat one time just to take everybody out. You know. You can't really just get out and go.
Yeah.
You know, like somebody's birthday, somebody's whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so we rented the boat. My mother caught the biggest gag that day, and she was sitting there with the rod between her legs, reading a flipping magazine, like not paying attention to nothing. And I'm like,
the biggest one.
It's like, I'm like, reel.
Start reeling. Well, we've got Captain Mike on the line. What's going on, Captain Mike? How are you? We got Tom Verdansky in studio, Tommy, as he prefers to be called, from Old Salts.
That's really the reason I was calling tonight, because I heard that the legendary Tommy Verdansky was going to be in studio, so I had to touch base with my guy there. How are you, Tommy?
Good, brother. You pulled out of the Green Bay game just to call for me?
I know.
Well, it ended just in time. Otherwise, you guys might have been out.
we said before the show, Josh asked, he was like, is Mike going to call? And I was like, I don't think so. The Green Bay game is on, but I saw they pulled it away from the Bears, huh?
Yeah, we pulled one out. We'll take it.
There it is.
We'll take it. It's a good opener. Yeah, good opener. So it's all good. All good. And it's all good, especially leading into a week that looks like this, because, man, we got great tides.
Yes, sir.
I think you're gonna have to fish early, because we got so much water coming on these big tides. If you wait too long, you're gonna be stuck waiting a couple more hours, because the fish are gonna be in the trees. So get out there early and get on that early morning incoming bite. Should be fantastic.
Because it's an incoming tide bite, because it's a new moon, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's there. I really think with the water temps, there's certain times of the year when the water temps are so good that they're still going to bite on both sides of the tide.
All right.
I think that bite's a little better. First thing in the morning, that water temp's going to be down. You're going to, the new moon's always an incoming tide thing. So if I set it up in my world, which is what I did for my trips later this week, we're going to pick up as early as we can with that fresh bait and hit those edges before those fish get in the trees. And I think we should have a pretty good week.
Yes, sir. It looks like some good tides, and the redfish bite has just been silly in Johns Pass. Are you seeing the same thing in the Bay, hearing the same thing about big schools of redfish and just really active fish now that we've got some more fresh water, a little cooler waters?
I think that I'm not sure what happened to our redfish. I think the big storm pushed a lot of those fish in and past us as far as the schools of the bigger fish. Either that or they haven't come yet, and they'll just show up here on this moon. Because we haven't seen I wouldn't say a huge push. There's been some redfish around. We're catching redfish on almost every trip. But this time of year, we normally start to see big schools.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the big schools. And again, that either means, A, they came in on that big moon with the storm, and they pushed right past us because of them big tides, or they stayed offshore, rode that thing out deep, and they're going to come in on this moon. Which, one of those two things is going to happen. Now, we're still catching redfish on every trip, but I haven't got into that school of big oversized. Normally, you see a lot of oversized fish in the schools this time of year, and we're not seeing. I mean, we caught a pile of 16 to 19, 20-inch fish. We've caught some slot fish, 22, 23, 24-inch fish, but I haven't seen the big schools yet. So it'll be interesting to see. And again, some of the guys in the upper bay may be seeing more than we are. I haven't been up there to fish, and I haven't heard from anybody that's on big schools, but they may be up there, and I just don't know about it.
I got you. We're seeing not a lot of big fish, but just the rat reds is nuts inside Johns Pass.
That's so good. You and I talked about that on the show yesterday. I mean, that's, it's interesting because, normally the rat red bite is a wintertime thing. It's a wintertime dock thing, especially along the intercoastal. Anybody who's been guiding for any time has wintertime docks that hold a lot of sheephead, a lot of small rat red stuff. You can put shrimp on a jig head and just go fish docks and catch fish, bend the rod. They're very active because they're cold water tolerant. But in the years that wintertime little rat redfish bite isn't good, the red fishing is usually off. The winters when that wintertime redfish bite is solid and it's good, and you can go have some 30 rat red mornings and some 20 rat red mornings and pick them up here and pick them up there. That normally leads us to really good red fishing throughout the whole year as we approach it.
Well,
so it's just kind of the way it goes. So, or at least, that's what I've seen over, a couple of decades of doing this.
You've only done it a short time, though. I mean,
yeah,
Got him.
I'm
glad there's someone else to
guys.
poke the bear.
I'm one of them guys.
He's a big bear.
I'm one of them guys. They're ready to put me out to pasture any day, Tommy. I'm gonna have to come work for you, buddy.
Yeah. Free jobs are tough to give away, bro.
No doubt. No doubt. But listen, I would like to touch on that too. We could, the fishing's good. It's fall transition. Snook, redfish, trout. That bite's phenomenal. There's some triple tail around.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm sure you probably touched on this some too, Tommy. But for Dylan. But I wanted Tommy to hear from me, and I wanted the listeners to hear from me. We are so blessed as a fishing community to have a fishing group like Old Salts that do so much in the community. We all hear about the King of the Beaches, and it's a huge kingfish tournament, and there's 700 boats, and all that's great. It's really impressive. But there's a lot of stuff that Tommy and his team do behind the scenes, local charity stuff, kids stuff that doesn't go with as much fanfare. So I want to make sure we put it out there that Old Salts is absolutely just phenomenal, dude. What you guys do over there just is unmatched anywhere else in the country, and I take my hats off to you guys. You guys are amazing.
Well, we appreciate that, and take supporters like yourself and even Dylan and all our sponsors out there to be able to help to continue what we do. The spring King of the Beach, which a lot of people, I mean, like you said, they know the King of the Beach, but Friday night we had 800 kids on the seawall.
That's
all
crazy.
The way around Rock Park in Madeira. We gave them, every single kid got a real rod and reel from 13 Fishing, and it was nobody got hooked.
You said
first off
800 kids.
800. So we were going to we were going to bring out Guinness.
That's crazy
because we definitely beat the world record for anglers at an event.
Yeah,
gotta be.
And we definitely have that's the largest kids tournament that I can find anywhere. But Guinness wants so much money to come out to certify it. It's not fiscally responsible for us to even do it. And then every year you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
I'd rather give more rods away. I mean, our deal is less X boxes, more tackle boxes.
Yeah.
And that's I'm blessed to be able to do it, and the guys that I've got behind me, we've got an amazing team, and it's but we also need new blood. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of my volunteers out there are getting older, and they still come strong. Don't get me wrong, but we need the younger generations don't understand what it's like to give back, and and I think that's something that some of our junior Old Salts see. The big thing we got coming up, the Special Kids event. If you're bringing a boat out, put your children on that boat too, because they're going to get a whole different appreciation on life when you have that special needs person on their boat with them for 3 hours, and you get to know them. They live life differently than we do. Mm-hmm. And that's even hard to explain. But it's I've had grown men where they won't even come up, captains that won't come up during the awards ceremony because they got tears in their eyes during that event. And that's what got me actually on, more interested in the Old Salts. I was a member for a long time, and but doing that event, really, I mean, it changes lives. It changed my life. It changes their lives, and it's just that we're blessed to be able to get on the water when we want to, and it's to be able to take a special needs kid fishing for that day. And we have 50 kids this year coming from Park.
That's awesome.
So we need all the help we can get as far as boats. We've got the Lowland Fire Department out there to help load kids on the boats if they have wheelchairs, if anything's going on. We have XR out there giving out life jackets and the sheriff's office obviously is involved. Everybody's involved in the event.
And that's Saturday, October 15th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fort DeSoto Boat Ramp.
Yeah.
Very special kids fishing day.
Yeah, and it's something to see. And everybody that participates, I mean...
You need volunteers for that event? You need boats.
We need boats. We need some land volunteers. I mean, we do a picnic for everybody. We cook out for everybody that's out there, all the kids, and the anglers that donate their time and their boats. We need land-based guys, we need water-based guys. Ellsworth Fishing Bait. They provide all the dead bait. And Eric Botnick goes and throws a net for how long, I have no idea, to bring a live bait to everybody. You know, and like I said, it's that whole community that was, you know, that we're talking about gets together for this thing, and it's something to see. It really is.
That's awesome. Well, we are definitely happy to help spread the word. That's, again, October 15th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Fort DeSoto Boat Ramp. Very special kids fishing day. 50 kids, you said, from Park are coming.
50, yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's this is going to be one of the biggest events that we've had. I mean, Park we support very, very heavily. They've got some new programs that we're also pushing out there as well. So it's you know, it's just like I said, it's a very, very rewarding day for everybody that's involved.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's great leadership on your part, Tom. You're putting all that together and leading that drive, my friend. You do an amazing thing, and the whole fishing community owes you a debt of gratitude. Keep up the good work, brother.
I appreciate it, brother, and we're looking forward to hoping getting you back on the roster here for the beginning of this year.
I'm ready.
You're up for it.
I'm ready. Oh yeah,
I'll give
come over.
I'll
We'll
give
come
you a
talk
cell
to
phone number after the show.
I've got that one. I've got the bat phone number.
Tommy's had it a while. There's no doubt. And like I said, just a great organization doing great things in the community, and it's a great example to others. And that's why you guys have so much support and so many partners. So it's good to know you, my friend. You do a great job over there.
Well, I appreciate it. It's good to know you. I know you're doing a lot for the community as well, and we appreciate what you do too.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. You guys have a great show. I appreciate the time here.
All right, brother.
God bless.
Thanks. See you, Mike.
All right, brother. Be good.
Go Packers. So while we were talking there, Josh did put into the chat there, into the comments, the link to the very special kids event. Notice when Hubbard's Marina makes a comment, you see the little blue check mark. You know it's Hubbard's Marina. That little blue check mark means it's safe to click the link. So look for the blue check mark whenever you see anything, and it's just the very special kids information. Josh is putting in that link in the chat again. And once again, you see the blue check mark. So make sure you look for that. And then also, someone asked, are they looking for volunteers? And you are looking for land-based volunteers, and they're looking for boaters too. Do you have to be a licensed captain?
No.
You don't have to be a licensed captain. You just have to own a boat and be responsible with your boat. You can sign up to be a boater, boat volunteer at the link Josh put in the chat, or would you use this to sign up to be a land-based volunteer as well?
You can just make in the comment side that, you know, when you do it, you can say I want to be land-based, or you can just go to there's another page that's just for volunteers.
Okay. At your
just
website.
A general if you want to volunteer for anything that we do, but we definitely need boats still. You know, it's that's the biggest thing is to get every kid on a boat.
Nice.
And some of them don't even want to fish. They'll go out there. I mean, they're bait fishing. They just never been on a boat. They want to cruise.
Yeah.
I mean, we got in a scramble one year, and Hubbard's. I mean, you guys helped us out tremendously because we had kids left behind. Then we had you had the shelling boat, the ferry boat right there, and you're like, put them on the boat. And we couldn't get them back off the island. But
yeah, once you go out to Shell Key, it's hard to get back.
But once they came back for the awards and all that. But that was great. And I mean, I called you at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, "We got you." And that's again, that's the partnerships that we create, and that's what the fishing industry is all about. That I've learned,
Yeah.
We may not see eye to eye on all things, but at the end of the day, I mean, like I said, we got to stick together as a group and
work together
and push forward.
Yeah, for sure.
With your permission, Tom, I would like to put this information available on our website.
Yeah, we can link it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So we're gonna add it to the website. Josh is saying.
Look at that picture up there. My sleep in.
Nice. Yeah. Click on that.
What is that going on?
What is that? Did someone post that to the Old Salts page?
Yeah, that's my lovely wife did that. So the Selma Master of Ovarian Cancer walk run was Saturday.
Yeah.
So they actually have a category that you can pay to sleep in.
So you were supporting
paid.
the Walk for the Run,
Yes.
Walk for the Cure event by sleeping in.
Yes, I was. Yes.
Way to support.
You know, I mean,
put in the work.
You know, my hips aren't going to make it through that walk, but you know, at least I could be there.
There you go.
I didn't know that she snuck that photo at first, but once it's out there, it's out there.
It's on the internet.
That's it. It's there forever.
So we're gonna really quickly run through what we're catching now. We're gonna give away our first free trip after we run through what we're catching and keep on with the conversation. So let's roll into the inshore photos real quick. Show you guys, as Capt Mike stated, as we were talking about, the redfish bite's been going pretty darn well. We're seeing some trout action out there, especially around the dock lights, bridge lights at night inside Johns Pass. We're seeing a lot of trout during the day. We're finding them about 4 to 6 foot of water seems to be the sweet spot on the old trout right now. And the redfish bite is just impressive all the way around inshore, from the middle bay all the way out to the outer bay. Upper bay seems to be a little bit more devoid of redfish as far as I'm hearing. You hearing about the same?
About the same.
Yeah. And redfish going real fast. Soft plastics, always a good option. We're seeing a lot on shrimp around Johns Pass already, which is early to be so dedicated to shrimp.
Yeah, a lot of guys. Yeah. You know, the shrimp are in there, and it seems like a lot. For some reason, the smaller white bait seem to be producing more than the larger stuff that I've seen from and talk to guys. You know.
Yeah, there's a good mix around at Don's Dock today. There was little baby fry bait all the way up to big thread fins. So it's pretty impressive.
That little red.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of these. I mean, you could catch the other day. A tourist came by. It was probably like 5:30 in the morning in town from like Ohio or something. Knew nothing about fishing in Johns Pass or around the area. He had like the steel leader from Walmart set up, and I helped him kind of pointed out some areas, and I got him set up with a monofilament leader instead of the steel leader. He bought 2 dozen shrimp. And he came back probably about 45 minutes later. He had caught 20 rat reds.
Wow.
Out of 24 shrimp, he caught 20 fish. And
That's
came
strong.
Back. He was like, all right, I'm going to go. I caught 20 redfish. I was like, what?
Yeah. Don't think that happens every day.
Yeah.
You know?
So the redfish bite is strong around the pass for sure and around the area. So seeing a lot of redfish. There's one from Johns Pass. So real good redfish bite. A lot of the snook are active. Snook are kind of finicky, though. Really, you have to pay attention to the tides and hit them at the right time. Today, they were stacked up in the pass on that hard outbound.
I bet.
And they were just...
And that water's dirty. Still.
Dirty.
Yeah.
But they came up to the surface, and they were all chilling right there under the dock. So I got a huge shrimp, and I was like, oh, this thing's going to get sucked down immediately. Floated it back there. Nothing. Wouldn't even look at it. I went all the way to 30-pound test. Lightest I want to go around those dock pilings, and they wouldn't even glance at it.
Yeah, because that's technical fishing around there, buddy.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to be quick on the draw on that deal.
Yeah.
But,
I just wanted to see if they would eat.
You know, their transition. They just came off that spawn. You know, there's still some fish still in the swash. You know, on the beaches, so don't give up on that yet. But you know, they're definitely on the transition mode.
Yep,
100%. And it's you know, this snook here. I mean, that's definitely some backwater where you look how dark that is. You know, he's up there deep, but you know, it's a great time. I mean, to fish right now, and the weather's starting to break a little bit. You know, yesterday morning I felt that first time. I was like,
Coolness.
oh, there's a little cool air going on finally. You know, so I think you know we're going to see that fishery light up pretty good.
Yeah,
especially once the water clears up a little bit.
It'll help once that water starts clearing up. But I think this moon this week, all that flushing water should help clean it up and get that salinity level right. We're seeing a lot of late season tarpon, a lot of tarpon rolling through the pass right now, and still real active trout bite. Should only heat up as the water continues to cool. Here's a nice big redfish from our buddy John Sasser right in Johns Pass. They're using the Salt Strong Power Prawn with the Dr. Juice sprayed on it. He said that I think it was yesterday morning or this morning, it was getting bit so much that the soft plastic was falling apart, and he was literally just spraying the juice on a bare hook catching fish. Crazy. Literally
That's
using a
some
bare
stank
hook.
right there.
I know, right? So it's been a prolific inshore bite right now. We're going to make our way a little bit deeper and look near shore and offshore, and it definitely looks like we're seeing some nice mangrove snapper. The mangrove snapper bite has been going really well for us out deep, and catching a lot of mangrove snapper out there on the 39-hour. The average size has been pretty big lately. Hogfish bites already picked up quite a bit. We're seeing a good bite of hogfish. Tuesday's 10-hour this past week caught like 20 or so hogfish. Thursday had about 24. Today's 10-hour caught a lot of lane snapper, not a ton of hogfish. They had, I think, 1 or 2 keeper hogfish today, but a ton of lane snapper and plentiful of the good eating gray snapper or white grunts. But overall, doing really well already on hogfish, which is early to see the hogfish. Yeah. Mutton snapper continues to be impressive. We caught another handful of mutton snapper on this 39-hour that came in this morning. The gag bite continues to impress. The first gag trip of our season, we had 46 keeper gags. Second trip had 50 keeper gags. Third trip that came in this morning had 55 keeper gags.
That's strong.
Yeah, man. They're stacked up. They're biting really well. We got lots of triggerfish around still, seeing some good mangroves, as I was saying. Lots of good gag grouper action. It's definitely working best on the live baits. This last trip, the live pinfish was a hot bait item. But squirrelfish, white grunts, all really good for those gag grouper as well. And, of course, some big dead baits. The cut bonita strips working well. This last trip, we actually caught more gag grouper at night. It was more active at night, and then the day bite kind of slacked off on us a little bit, made it a little bit trickier. We pushed out a little deeper, and then it was tough to stay away from the red snapper. So we kind of learned a lesson on this one. We're going to stay inside that 150, 160-foot mark and try to stay away from those red snapper while we target those gag grouper. But behind the hurricane, they're stacked up, man, and feeding really active. That's the biggest one so far.
That's a monster there.
42.8 pounds.
Beautiful.
Stud gag grouper.
Yeah, so, you think you're seeing more mutton because of the storm?
The mutton started behind the mutton were trickling in, but behind Hurricane Ian, we saw a push of dog snapper, schoolmasters, more yellowtail than ever. But I would say in the last 5 to 7 years, we've seen an increase steady in the yellowtail snapper and a handful of muttons. They've become more common. Yeah. I mean, when I started running trips, 10 years ago now, we started to see more of the mutton snapper. One of my first long-range trips, we caught a big mutton. I was like, oh, my goodness, this is awesome, that I was running. And I've seen, since then, I've seen a steady increase. Like, it used to be like you caught a mutton and people were like, what's that? And
now it's American Reds back in the day.
Yeah.
You got a red snapper. Oh, my God. Yeah.
I remember
now they're everywhere.
I was 12 years old. I caught a red snapper. I was like, what kind of fish is this? So we've seen that mutton snapper bite get better and better. But behind Hurricane Ian, now it's like every trip we're seeing mutton snapper. And
we had flamingos here, so I mean.
We got flamingos now, too. Yeah. I was telling Tommy before the show this last weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we had a flamingo hanging out on the sandbars of John's Pass. So, pretty crazy, the flamingo numbers.
That was interesting to see.
And then I went to the zoo with my kids this past, Wednesday? And we passed the flamingo exhibit, and it said it's a Caribbean flamingo, only exists on the islands of the Caribbean and the Yucatan. I was like, they're going to have to change this sign.
Change that around a little bit, right?
Because we're seeing a lot of flamingos here now. But it is time to give away some free trips.
Give away some free trips.
Yeah, we got to.
Everybody likes a free trip, right?
Everybody likes free stuff, man.
What's that?
So. Yeah. We'll do a trip and the swag pack because we got to catch up. We've been talking a lot, which is a good thing. So we'll give away a free trip and the Hubbard's Marina swag pack, back-to-back giveaways. So if you're picked as the lucky winner, remember you have to text the phone number at the bottom of the screen within 5 minutes, your full home address. If you're picked as the swag pack winner, you got to give us your T-shirt size as well. But first, we'll do the trip. Let's do the 10-hour all day for 2 guests. So 10-hour all day for 2 guests. Lucky winner is 10-hour all day for 2 guests goes to Kyle Porter from Tampa. Congratulations, Kyle, on the lucky win of that 10-hour all day for 2 guests. Josh is going to record your name, Then we're going to flip over and do the swag pack giveaway. So this one is for the Hubbard's Marina swag pack. Remember to give us your t-shirt size if you're picked as the lucky winner for the swag pack. Lucky winner is...
Survey says...
Issa. I'm going to go with Issa Frank from Wisconsin. What's going on? Thanks for watching. So we gave away our 10-hour all-day and the swag pack. We still got the 5-hour half-day for 2 guests to give away. And the 39-hour trip for 1 lucky winner, too. So lots more to give away as well. But before we do, we showed you guys what we're catching. Let's talk about the weather real quick. We're going to hop over to the Hubbard's Marina website page. Under fishing trips, let's hit the weather links page. On our weather links page, you got all the marine weather that you could ever want. Let's hit the 5 and 10-hour forecast area, and we can see weather looks spectacular during this work week. We've got a new moon right there. I think Thursday is the new moon off the top of my head. I want to remember. Beautiful weather the first half of the week, just perfect conditions. Less than 10 miles an hour. Less than 1 foot. It does not get any better. Over the weekend, we get a little bit of a rain chance. We get a little bit more of an easterly flow to the wind Saturday, a little bit more of a moderate wind, moderate sea, and a higher rain chance Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But this week looks spectacular, gorgeous, and super light loads this time of year, too.
Yeah.
So great time to get out there and capitalize on the hogfish bite on our 10-hour all-day. Tuesday's 10-hour, I think, has 18 people on it off the top of my head, so super light load. We're going to pop over to Mike's weather page, spaghettimodels.com, and show you guys the trend this week. So, as I said, looking beautiful through the course of the work week. You've got this occluded front kind of hanging out over the northern Gulf of Mexico. That's today. Tomorrow, that occluded front kind of hangs out there. We got a little bit of a trough, so going to be kind of a weird pattern, I would say. Rain chance wise is going to be somewhat moderate through the week, but not calling a lot of rain because of that high pressure, but definitely potential for a little bit of a surprise shower through the week. But overall, really moderate conditions. So this is Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I'm looking for the Mountain Goat report.
Mountain Goat report, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
don't we have that yet?
Captain Kidd, is that his nickname to you guys?
I just call him Dutton.
Dutton.
Just straight up Dutton. But
Mountain Goat
I
report.
thought for sure you'd have some mountain goats on there by now.
No.
You got to watch them. I went over Madeira Beach, to the bridge there. I call that Mount Madeira now over there in the old Lead Rock slot. And the mountain goat, we're going to the high point.
You got to watch out for those mountain goats. Wednesday, we see the same thing, that high pressure kind of lingering. You see tropical or Hurricane Lee kind of meandering off the far east coast. That will not affect our weather, thankfully. It is going to stay on the east coast of Florida. It's going to make the weather a little nautical over there on the east coast, but we're going to be protected in the Gulf. And then we get into Friday, and this is when the wind starts to shift and the rain chance goes up. And that's because that nice little blue line above Tommy and I's head, that is a cold front. Our first legitimate cold front of the year. This is Saturday. That cold front pushes down a little bit more. Sunday, cold front passes us. You guys want to see something cool? Can you, let's see, I think we can pull this up. Weather models. Let's see if it's logged in for me. Weather models. Yep, there it is. Model viewer. So this is exciting stuff right here. So we'll go down to temperatures and show you guys what we're looking at. Let's see, daily. Let's go daily low temperature. United States, Southeast Florida. Oh, of course, no maps. Oh, there it is. Had to populate for a second. So this is 72 hours out. 96 Thursday, Friday. Look at that cold weather coming in. That is a low of 72 degrees. And
we might have to bust out our sweaters.
Right, might have to bust out the sweaters. It's gonna get chilly on us. Look at that.
That's some 60s there.
That is a minimum of 48, but that's obviously up in like North Carolina, South Carolina. But yeah, 68, 69 in North Tampa. And this is for Sunday. So It's going to get a little chilly this weekend, which is going to be nice.
Be nice to get a little cool down after what we've been going through here recently.
So we have a little bit of rain chance and a little bit of a higher east breeze there Friday afternoon through the day, Saturday into Sunday morning. But it's going to be worth it because it's going to get a little chilly.
It is. And then obviously, we have an event this weekend. So, I mean, that just goes par for the course. They have a little weather
if Old Salts has a fishing tournament, the weather's going to be a little adverse is what you're saying?
Typically,
So you have an event this weekend. This coming Saturday is the Nautical Flea Market, Madeira Beach at Rock Park.
Yep.
And then Sunday is the Trash Roundup, right?
Saturday is the Trash Roundup.
Saturday is the Trash Roundup.
And then Sunday we do. Sunday we have the family fishing tournament in the morning. It's in conjunction with obviously the city of Madeira. They're putting on the Nautical Flea Market. We're kind of working in conjunction with those guys with the trash cleanup. It's by boat or by car. By boat or by land. There's like 8 different ways to win. Obviously, it's free to get into it.
That's awesome.
They've got over 50 vendors though for the flea market right now that I talking to Max the other day. So it should be
50 vendors for the Nautical Flea Market.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it should be a good weekend. Overall, and like I said, it's getting a little cooler. Might get a little rain here and there, but the cooler air helps for good festival weather too. So
yeah, if you're gonna walk around a Nautical Flea Market or go pick up trash, a little bit of cooler weather might not be a bad thing.
That's it. Yeah,
a little bit of a breeze, east breeze.
Yeah,
So that's awesome stuff. So lots of good stuff coming up this weekend for Old Salts. That's Saturday. The September 17th is a trash roundup. We just put the link in the chat there. The Madeira Beach amphibious trash roundup. So check it out. Again, Hubbard's Marina with the blue check. It's safe to click the link, guys. So there you go. Josh is also going to put up here on the screen the information for the next Old Salts Fishing Foundation Club meeting. Every third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Holiday Isles Elks Lodge. That's in Madeira Beach, by the way. The Elks Lodge in Madeira Beach. It's back there off of 140th. You can find the club there at the Holiday Isles Elk Lodge and 7 p.m. every third Thursday. And this month you have Captain Ryan Harrington speaking at your club meeting, right?
Yeah, Captain Ryan Harrington's going to be out there. And it's just so that you don't have to be a member to come to the meetings. Obviously we encourage people to become a member, but we do a members-only raffle while we're out there, as well as, our regular raffles, and Captain Ryan's going to be talking. So it should be a good event. Yeah. And the Elks are a great place to meet, right there in the water. They just redid everything. Their patios are redone. They're getting ready to redo their docks now. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, so nice. It's a cool little spot.
Yeah, lots of parking over there, too. And you're driving back there to the Elks Lodge in Madeira Beach, you're like, am I in the right place?
Yeah.
You drive through a little bit of a neighborhood, but once you get over there, it's worth it. It's a cool spot, so definitely check it out every third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. And, yes, they are taking new members. If you want to become a member of the Old Salts Fishing Foundation, it's just oldsalts.org, right?
Oldsaltfishing.org.
Right? Oldsaltfishing.org. I was close.
I do the same thing all the time.
I'm sure if you Googled
it used to be
Old
Foundation Salt, used to be in there, and we've tried to make it as easy as possible now.
Oldsaltfishing.org. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, definitely think about joining. Obviously, just joining helps support the cause and all the great stuff they're doing. Yeah. As we've talked about tonight, there's a lot going on. So we want to give away another free trip here, and then we'll probably have time for a few questions before we wrap it up. So let's give away our 5-hour half day for – wait, we did the 10-hour. Yeah, 5-hour half day for 2 guests. Lucky winner is 5-hour half day for 2 guests goes to Eric Seberg from Las Vegas. Congratulations, Eric. Remember, you got 5 minutes or less. Text us at the phone number on the screen there to claim your free 5-hour half day for 2 guests. We still got the 39-hour trip to give away, so we still got a big one. So hang on, y'all. We do have other events coming up too. Remember, October 3rd, Tuesday, October 3rd, we're going to be at Bartow Ford from 6 to 8 p.m. with Captain Mike Anderson talking fishing over there at Bartow Ford, giving away free food, free drinks, Real Animals swag, some Hubbard's Marina swag, the Ingle coolers, Bull Bay rods, all absolutely free. 6 to 8 p.m., Bartow Ford, October 3rd.
Always a good time.
Always a good time, for sure. Good food, too, from Silver Ring Cafe. October 7th, on Saturday at noon, I'll be speaking at the Off the Hook event over in Safety Harbor. And then September 30th at Saturday at noon, I'll be at St. Pete Fishing Outfitters for their event, speaking at noon as well. So we have 3 different fishing conversations coming up end of September, early October, for us to join, or for you to join us. And then, of course, Final Friday. You've been to a Final Friday?
I've been there,
you were crushing some crawfish with us.
Yeah,
you and Amy came.
Yeah, it's always
awesome.
It's a good time out there.
Awesome. So hopefully we'll see you at the next crawfish boil. That's the end of September. Is the Final Friday is September 29th coming up, and then the Final Friday in October is going to be a kids Halloween event. All of John's Pass is going to be doing trick or treating. Every Final Friday there's a pub crawl. And then the October Final Friday event, we're actually going to have our supporters had this idea. It's going to be open to anyone from Old Salts, from Hubbard's Marina family, anybody who wants to do it. We're going to have a chili cook-off.
Oh,
don't know what the prize is going to be yet. Probably going to be some cash. Probably going to throw some cash in there. And, of course, some fishing trips. So you're going to win some Hubbard's Marina swag, some free fishing, and probably a little bit of cash. And it's going to be a chili cook-off. I want to be a judge. You want to be a judge?
I'll be a judge.
There you go.
You know,
I'll put them on the spot, but, I mean, food,
yeah,
hanging out, crawfish.
It can't be. That's not a bad
beer.
thing, right? You know, yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah,
It's going to be a good time.
We do our November's meeting. We do our fish spread contest.
Oh, well,
So
if
you
I
can be
let
a judge there.
There we go. I was going to say, if I let you be a judge of the chili cook-off, we can be a judge of the, all right, fish spread contest. That's,
Gotta be there for
I'm about that.
insurance.
Yeah, right. My security has to come with.
That's fine. That's good.
Dude, fish spread contest. I remember that one. That one's after the fall
after the
king of the
king, yeah.
beach, right?
Yep.
And Knockman smokes up all the kingfish, or do people
No,
take them home?
everybody they take their own fish. Now, the fish for the tournament, we actually donate back to charity. But you know, that's the time of year everybody's got a kingfish. They're gonna, jack spread, kingfish bread. You know, we get husbands and wives compete against one another. One's got cream cheese, one's got mayonnaise, and it's a good time.
That is a
tough.
debate.
It's tough at after 52, fish spreads. You're like.
It's like the wine tasting where you take a sip of wine and you spit it in the bucket.
But it's then we have a People's Choice Award too out there for that. So it's a really cool event. We've done it for I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years now. But I was like, everybody does the chili cook-offs. I'm like, what can we do that's like really fishing related around here? And it's like everybody's got their own fish spread that they think is the best, So
I have a good fish
a great
spread, but
time.
I don't think it's the best.
But you don't know that. Everybody, like I said, it's a different taste for everybody, and it's
everybody has their own opinion.
And like commercially,
I'm a cream
Knockman.
cheese guy though.
Oh, are you?
I like my fish spread real spicy
and
with
thick.
a chunk or two of some cream cheese in there, so that way it cools you off a little bit, and a lot of meat.
Yeah.
No vegetables. I hate when there's
you're
a
a
bunch of
purist,
peppers. I mean, I like a little bit of onion, a little bit of celery, but like people put in like all these different peppers and stuff
Carrots
in there.
and lettuce.
Carrots, that drives me
me
nuts. If I see orange in my fish bread, I get upset.
So it's Dan Casey runs the table on that one. So
yeah,
but we have a lot of judges.
Cook.
Yeah, he can. So Krabby keeps trying to say he's going to bring some jack mackerel one time and try to trick us, but. We have the smell test first.
Some bonita. That makes some good fish bread.
So.
My dad used to make us tuna fish with bonita. And the grouper throat and grouper head soup and all the different things that he used to try to cook in the house that my mom used to go crazy about.
I bet.
Yeah, boiling bonita is a house clearer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Making tuna fish with boiled bonita, it's not good.
Yeah, that's like throwing something on a hot skillet with blackened season and the fan's not on.
Yeah, exactly. And smoke out the house real fast. Yep. All right, so let's see what questions we have real quick. What are the upcoming 39-hour loads looking like? This Tuesday, we've got 25 people on the 39-hour trip. So super light loads. We're crushing the gags. Near shore, half day, you got a chance for the hogfish, but the 10 hour is really the best chance for it. We're carrying 18, 20 people right now, so definitely light loads all the way around. Richard asked, any gags this season on the jigs? I was talking to Chris Paradise. He came off the 39-hour trip this morning. He limited out on snapper with the jigs, mostly yellowtail snapper. He had some big pig yellowtail snapper on the jig, but he got a handful, I think he said 5 to 7 mangrove snapper on the jig, and he got a nice big gag grouper on the slow pitch jigs as well. So definitely some guys catching the gags with the slow pitch. I didn't get to talk to Derek and Sean Gossier, but I'm sure they got their gag grouper. I saw them carrying some gag groupers, and they are slow pitch jigging purists. We had Don Vesey was on this trip. There was a handful of folks, Stephen Hardy, that were all big-time slow pitch jig fishermen. So I'm sure they got some gags on the slow pitch as well. So it's working for sure. I know the jig that was used to catch the big gag by Chris, but I can't. I was sworn not to say the name.
Sworn to secrecy.
Sworn to secrecy. So I did find out, but I can't say it on the show. Sorry. How does the hogfish bite go on the 5-hour trip? We're catching a few hogfish, but you definitely want a little bit more time. It takes a little bit of time to get on those
time,
hogfish.
a little finesse.
Little time, little finesse, a lot of luck.
Got to weed through a few grunskies while you're out there,
Great snapper.
Great snapper. Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely the 10 hours is going to give you the time to really weed through the white grunts and get to white grunts or gray snapper and get to those hogfish and definitely have a better chance at dialing in on the hogfish with the live shrimp. Let's see here. What other questions do we have? Question about red snapper. Red snapper moved around a lot. Yes, behind the storm, the red snapper moved significantly. That's what we ran into on this 39-hour trip that just got back in this morning. Went to an area where we knew we had gag grouper piled up and didn't have red snapper around, and that was the opposite held true. The hurricane moved fish around quite a bit. Any tuna caught trolling? We've seen some tuna. There was 3 blackfin tuna on the 39-hour trip that got in this morning, but they were all incidental catches, either dropping down pinfish or reeling up squid. I know 2 trips ago they got a bunch of blackfin tuna, and they were all caught dropping or retrieving strips of squid. Isn't that funny?
Everything eats squid, though. I mean,
everything eats squid.
I don't know anything that doesn't eat squid. You eat squid, I eat squid.
I love some calamari.
Yeah,
What is the hogfish limit? You're allowed 5 per person, 14 to the fork. 14 to the fork, 5 per person. But you're not really going to have a chance to limit out. You have a chance to limit out on a 10-hour trip if you're really, really good and pretty lucky. Some of our most advanced anglers do catch 5 hogfish on a 10-hour trip, but it's pretty rare. How can you find spots offshore, near shore without a GPS?
Drop a bait.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, you go with the old soap trick. I mean,
soap on a rope.
You know?
Yeah, you really need a GPS to hold the spots and know where you're going. And
I mean,
really,
if you got a bottom machine, I mean, he's got part of it. But
yeah, I wouldn't go offshore without a GPS. I wouldn't suggest going offshore, out of sight of land without a GPS.
And there's some great apps out there that are really good.
Yes.
You know, if you wanted to download something that's gonna, get you real close to the spot, but don't go too far offshore. And make
that's
sure,
what scares me.
Make sure your phone's plugged in. Because you're running off of satellite mode and it's going to eat your battery alive.
Yeah. If you're going to use your phone and an app on your phone for your GPS, make sure you can plug in your phone and charge it with your battery.
Yeah, because we used to have a gentleman. We had a tournament actually called the TV John Tournament. Mm-hmm. Gentleman obviously was a TV repair guy back in the day when those people still existed. But TV John would troll out of JP.
Yep.
and he'd go as far as he could. And then once he started losing contact, and I don't know what the radio station was that he was listening to, but once he started losing like his radio station that he was listening to, he would turn around because he knew he was going to run out of fuel and drag those plugs right back the same way.
He was going to run out of fuel when he ran out of radio signal.
When the radio signal stopped, he knew he had to turn back
the
around.
Radio goes pretty far, though.
Now, I mean, this is a long time ago, too.
Oh, okay.
But, you know what I mean? But that used to be one of our other tournaments was the TV John Trolling tournament. And, you know, but now with, you know, when everything's switched up with fisheries, it's just not, everything doesn't align right to do a trolling event. But it was interesting. Yeah, well, the guys definitely got some history out there.
That's crazy, man. And it's funny talking about the history and like how things have changed fisheries wise, but it's also, I mean, nowadays, how many people fish the King of the Beach tournament?
How many people fish?
Yeah, how many boats do we have in the King of the Beach?
600 boats plus.
500 or 600 boats.
Yeah, and we got 30,000 people over the course of 3 days.
30,000 people. And that event, even 15 years ago, wasn't half that size.
No, it also had a $10,000 payout originally. Prior, this is our 30th anniversary. So we are doing a cool thing. So the 30th place this year is $5,000.
Wow. That's
so
great.
it's totally anybody's game. Anybody can win this tournament.
I remember my buddy Nolan Sadorf that I grew up with.
Yeah.
He won, him and his dad, Scott Sadorf, they won like a contender, I think it was like a 27, like a pretty big contender with a Yamaha motor on it in a King of the Beach tournament for like 20th place or like 19th place or something random. Because you guys always do that to try to encourage people to go to the weigh-in. And this year with the 30th anniversary, the 30th place is $5,000. That's awesome, man.
You know, so it's you know, we try, like I said, we want everybody to be able to do it. It used to be the year date, so we also have a 2023. So the closest fish in 2023 gets $1,500.
Nice.
You know, and it's like I said, it's encouraging. It's a family-friendly event, and if you're not fishing it, don't think you can't come out. Like I said, if you're listening to us right now, you need to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a party. It's community. I mean, we got some great food. We've got 50, 60 vendors out there minimum. Friday night we have a music festival.
Thursday night's the captain party. It's like a big, huge, it's a pretty big party and a good time. Yeah. Friday is kind of a little bit more family friendly, I would say. I always bring my kids Friday. A little bit less of a crowd, a little bit less chaotic. Fishermen are sleeping in, getting ready for the tournament. So it's not so rowdy. And then Saturday with the tournament, if you get there early, it's not too bad. But then as the sun goes down, people start to celebrate the tournaments.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, and we don't have, you know, it's crazy. We don't have any problems with it.
No,
that's the cool part.
Yeah,
you know?
very much so.
And you know, there's a lot of
I've got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Yeah,
so
and
it's family friendly for sure.
My daughter ran around that field, you know, her whole life.
Yeah.
You know, it's a safe place to be. Mm-hmm. We've got plenty of guards. We got plenty of policing out there. You know, we can't do it enough without our sheriffs and
half the time,
there.
A lot of the sheriffs who aren't working are there fishing the tournament.
They're fishing. They're
Our
fishing.
Sheriffs,
they're
they
hanging
like
out. Yes, they do. And you know, we got some more guys that are retired out that are definitely back in the game now. Mm-hmm. You know, so we look forward to seeing those guys some more. But yeah, it's you know, Saturday though is definitely something to see. You know, the boats are lined up out back. If you're coming back by boat or you can come back by car, you know, and then it's you know, to watch those fish come in, and it's, you know, and we do way fun fishing, you know, occasionally that, you know, someone catches a wahoo or we got a big cove or something, you know, we'll throw them in a scale too. Every kid that goes through the line gets a prize package. Nice. You know, if they catch a fish, if they don't even catch a fish, you know, but if they come through the line and they've been on the boat, they're winning something.
There you go.
You know, so it's, like I said, you got a ladies division, overall division, youth division, single outboard engine division, and a Spanish mackerel division. I mean, there's
lots of ways to win.
Plenty of ways to win. Spanish mackerel half the time's over $1,000 a pound for the winner.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
And so what would be your, as we wrap up to close tonight, what would be your number one suggestion for people to get involved with Old Salts? If they wanted to support the very special kids event, some of the community stuff you do, some of the charity stuff you do, whether they just want to come to a fishing club meeting to get more information, should they check out the oldsaltfishing.org website? Should they follow on Facebook? What's the best way to stay connected?
We've got every channel. We don't have TikTok yet. We're not up to speed.
You're on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok, but that's like my kid runs that. I mean, but we've got, obviously Facebook, Instagram, the Old Salt website's being updated. There's my daughter there with a gag. She got into fly fishing recently. She just moved back here from South Carolina, so it's been interesting. But it's, anyway, jump online, jump in, come to a meeting. Like I said, it's free. You don't have to be a member to come out. Captain Ryan Harrington with a plethora of information to give.
Really good dude.
I mean, and he's backwater to blue water. And I mean, we had Jason Stock on. Jason was on with us, Captain Jason Stock, last month. He's always a flipping hoot.
You had Brandon Vaughn before that.
Brandon been on, yep, and. So we rotate, we try to rotate out in between inshore, offshore, whatever's going on in the industry at that point in time.
Yeah.
We really don't we have hit a couple of guys with the stone crab thing a little bit because we get a lot of questions about, recreational stone crabbing. So, but, Ryan can answer those questions too. I mean, or we jump in, but it's fun. I think that's a big area. Like you said, you come, meet some people. And the cool thing about the Old Salt, even when I started fishing like the King first, I talked to like Captain Randy Keys and Jimmy Hassan, the past president, and these guys, and they're like, this is what we're gonna do. It's not a secret with a lot of with king fishing a whole lot, or any, it's not your honey holes, let's say, for gags or your hogfish or whatnot, but he's like, this is exactly what we're gonna do, and they're like, yeah, right, I'm like that. He's like, and I rolled up, and they were right there doing exactly what they told me to do, and I was like, wow, now you're not gonna find that all the time, but they'll give you areas too to fish. It's just amongst the members themselves, and it's a cool thing.
It is.
A lot of guys come too that don't have boats. They hook up guys with boats. I mean, fuel being what it is right now. I mean, that's always on everybody's mind, especially if you're gonna make any kind of real run.
So some lots of options.
A lot of options.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you coming in and joining us tonight.
And you're like, fourth, fifth generation now of Hubbards?
Fourth.
Yeah, fourth generation
now.
Man.
Yeah, we started in 1928 with rowboats and cane poles.
I mean, but, your grandfather was involved, your father was involved, you've been involved, you got the kids out there now. So, I mean, and that's the cool thing. Think about 4 generations. I've only got 2.
My son has fished an Old Salt Seawall tournament before. Yeah, it's been 5 generations, I'm sure.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support you've given us throughout the years as well, and just had a really good time, and it's been fun.
Yeah, for sure. And well, we look forward to many, many more years to come, and hopefully you guys too. Josh put all the links to the Facebook, to the Instagram, to the website in the chat there. Remember, Hubbard's Marina with the blue check marks. It's safe to click the link there, and remember, we're not going to tell you you're a winner. We're not going to post you a comment or send you a message. Remember, it'll be Hubbard's Marina with the blue check mark. Safe to click those links. But we're not going to text you if you're a winner. Remember, the only way we give away free stuff during the Hubbard's Marina live show is we announce it on screen. Your name appears on screen, and you text us your full home address. So remember that, guys. If after the show, a lot of times, midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that's when people make the fake accounts and start trying to spam y'all. So keep that in mind. If you wake up to a notification saying you won something in a comment, it's not us. It's not how we do it. I'm not up at 2 a.m. I'm going to go to bed about 10 p.m. I'm going to be up at 4 a.m. deleting those spam comments if they happen. So just keep that in mind. And again, thank you for coming on the show, Tommy. Appreciate you, brother.
Always appreciate you.
It's time to give away that 39-hour trip and see who that lucky winner is. And then we're going to get into our supporters after show, which will start up at, let's call it 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, a little late tonight, but we'll call it 9 o'clock start on the supporters after show. Appreciate y'all for watching. Remember, every Sunday night, next week, we've got Nick Haddad from Return 'em Right joining us. And we're going to be talking all about safe handling, barotrauma mitigation, discard mortality mitigation, and just safe handling practices of offshore species, and giving Nick Haddad a very hard time, because that's what we do when he comes on the show. So it's going to be good. So hopefully you guys will see us next week for another episode of the live stream show. Hopefully you'll see Tommy at the upcoming Old Salts meeting. Remember, every third Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. at the Holiday Isles Elks Club. There it is. There's the information on the screen once again for you. Also, keep in mind, Captain Ryan Harrington is this month's guest. Really, really good dude. Really, really great speaker. So you don't want to miss that one. Let's find out who the lucky winner is of the 39 hour. $4.99. Lucky winner, $500 value basically. Michael D. Marinville from Port St. Joe. Congratulations, Michael. You got 5 minutes or less. Text us at the phone number on the screen. Hopefully, we'll see you guys next week for another episode. Don't forget to check out Old Salts on social media, on their websites, and volunteer. Join the association, and we'll see you guys at an upcoming event. Thanks for watching, y'all. Appreciate it. And don't forget, you're too busy to go fishing.
I'm just too busy.
Just too busy. See you guys.